In this section, I want to talk to you about the data store. The data store is an important addition to CISPRO customization in general, and in particular to the app designer. It basically provides a mechanism for storing encrypted constants within the CISPRO database for use within the app designer and custom panes within CISPRO itself. Typically, you'd see this being used for logins and passwords, maybe for connection strings to other databases, or website API keys for calling web services and things like that. The creation of the app designer data store constants is done by a separate program called Setup Data Store in the administration tab. So let's go and have a quick look at that. So here we are in CISPRO. I'm going to nip along to my administration tab, application designer, and at the bottom here we see Setup Data Store. We're presented with a very straightforward user interface here. We have a tree view which we can expand. And under application designer keys here, I've got a key to my encrypted constant. So if I click on this, for instance, there's my login for my contacts database. There's my password. To edit this, we just simply type information in here like this and save it. And that will save it to the encrypted values in the database. To add new configuration, we just simply press this button. And it's asking us for a name of my new constant. So let's call it my new constant. Some value in here. Oops. Now notice though at the top we have an option of storing these constants at a system level, company level, role, or operator. Now I can see the role and operator being quite useful for customized panes, and we'll see shortly that you can get at the data store through the customized panes callouts. And then system and company, particularly company, you may well have different logins dependent on which company people are actually using. So we'll just simply save and exit that. And if we expand our thing there, we find our new piece has come in there. So it's very, very straightforward. So what we're going to do now is go and have a look at how we can use this in our app. I'm back in App Designer. I've added a field to get our data store variable. So let's go and have a quick look at the VB script. Okay, the section of the code we want is this little bit here. So I'm declaring a variable, putting the key that we just created into that variable. And then I'm just doing a get data store variable callout. Now you'll find those in the common callouts at the bottom somewhere, I think. Get data store variable, there we go. And then what that's going to be doing is taking my new constants, get it and put the decrypted value into return value. If it can't find the key, it will return a message with the first 6 characters of error colon. You can deal with that. And then for our little demo, then all I'm doing is putting the variable on the form and setting the value, which is all very, very straightforward. There are a couple of things to be aware of, though. Obviously, doing this, we suddenly take our encrypted value and decrypt it, put it in a readable format inside our VB script. So be careful. If you are doing this sort of thing in your code, you might want to deploy the .snk encrypted app rather than the TXT version. But if we go and have a look at the data sources, so if we go here, we'll add a query data source quickly. My test, a custom data source, and we'll pick up the CISPRO connection. I'm just going to have a look at the connection string here. In this example, you can see that we're picking up user ID and password for the connection string. But look down here, we've got a call out, equivalent of a call out called get data store variable.key. And the key obviously is the name of the constant that you've created in data store. So I could quite happily replace these bits and pieces with that and pull my constant into this connection string. When this happens, App Designer does not expose the encrypted or the decrypted values to the VB script. It does it all itself. So in that respect, it's completely hidden from anybody. It's just if you decide to bring that variable into your own VB script, you've actually got to be a little bit careful. Okay, so that's the end of that. We won't save that, and we'll move on to the next section. So I just wanted to show you where your constants are being saved in the database. They're in the SysPro-DB database, not the company-wide one, but the system-wide one, in a table called ESP Data Store, and they reside under a store type of ADK, which is Application Designer Key. And you'll see a couple of constants down here I created. They're system-wide. There's my Application Designer Key, and that's what it is. And you can see it's all encrypted. So even if somebody got into the database and started looking around, they couldn't get at these encrypted constants. Very, very straightforward. So the final thing I want to do in this section is just show you the data store in customized panes. So the script editor has been extended in customized panes to include some of the more useful callouts that we use in App Designer. And right at the bottom here, you will see get a data store variable, and it's really, very straightforward. There's the callout, and it's the key, and it will return the decrypted constant into your customized pane. Just bear in mind the warning I gave you earlier on. Once you do that, it becomes human readable, so treat with caution. And then finally, just a brief note, don't forget that you can run apps from a customized pane simply by using SysPro Program to Run. And we're going to be discussing that in the next section.